Okay, so you're thinking about finally getting that smile you've always wanted, huh? We're diving into braces versus Invisalign today. You've clearly been doing your research. We got a stack of articles from you, and I bet you're dying to know about the cost, right? Because that's a big one.
Yeah, it's usually the first thing people ask me about for sure. It makes sense, but honestly, the answer's a lot more complicated than you might think.
Right. You see Invisalign and think, big bucks, braces, got to
Yeah.
be cheaper.
Mm.
Right. But is it really that straightforward?
That's actually a really common misconception. In reality, they both tend to average around 5 grand. But, and this is key, that price can seriously swing. I'm talking anywhere from under 2,000 to $10,000. We've seen it all.
Whoa, okay. So we're talking a potential difference of thousands of dollars. So there's definitely more to this cost thing than just like picking braces or Invisalign,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Think of it like, I don't know, like buying a car. You wouldn't just choose between, say, a sedan and an SUV without thinking about the engine size, right? Or what features you want, or even just what you need it for. This is the same idea.
So walk me through it. What are the engine size and features that really bump up the price in the dental world?
Well, first up, you've got the severity of what you're working with. How messed up are your teeth, basically? Think of it like a minor fender bender versus, needing a whole new engine. A minor tweak here or there might be a shorter, cheaper fix. But a really complex bite issue, maybe severely crowded teeth, totally different story. That's like the engine overhaul, much longer treatment. Sometimes you need special appliances. And yeah, the cost reflects that.
Makes sense. So it's not just about braces or Invisalign. It's about how much dental work your teeth actually need, period.
Exactly. And this is where it gets even more interesting. Location, location, location. Just like real estate, prices can be all over the map depending on where you live. Big city. Higher cost of living usually means dentists have more overhead, and sadly, that gets passed on to us, the patients.
Right, just like a fancy haircut downtown versus your regular spot in the neighborhood.
Mm.
But there's going to be more to it than just location and what your teeth need, right?
You're on fire today. Insurance, can't forget about insurance. Some plans are amazing, cover a huge chunk, total game changer, but others might as well not even have it. Barely anything for this stuff. So that obviously impacts what you pay out of pocket big time. Checking your benefits early on, can't stress that enough. No one likes surprises.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of surprises, what about those at-home aligner companies you see everywhere now? The ads make them seem so affordable, but is there a catch?
Tempting, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, places like, say, Bite or Smile Direct Club often do have lower prices than traditional braces or in-office Invisalign. But and this is a but there's often a trade-off.
Okay, hit me with the trade-off. What am I missing here?
Well, you're essentially cutting out the orthodontist, the expert, to save money. Less personalized care, less monitoring. If your teeth are just a tiny bit off, maybe not a huge deal, but anything more complex could be risky. And then there's the treatment time itself. Remember, engine size. Some at-home aligners, Bite's a good example, they brag about being faster because you wear them all day, but that speed often comes with a higher price tag. You're paying for convenience, basically.
So it's like choosing between a quick bumpy ride versus a longer one with an experienced driver. Gotta weigh those risks.
That's a great way to put it. It all comes down to what matters most to you, right?
I'm already rethinking everything I thought I knew about braces being the cheap option.
And we're just getting started. That's the thing. It's all about looking deeper, figuring out what actually matters most to you when it comes to your smile.
Okay, so we've tackled that whole cost thing, and wow, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. But obviously, cost isn't everything, right? We've all heard the basics. Braces are kind of obvious. Invisalign's invisible. Braces mean food restrictions.
Right, gotta love that Invisalign perk. Pop those things out, enjoy your meal, no problem.
Exactly. But I'm curious about the stuff people don't always talk about. Like, what are the hidden factors, the surprises that could really make a difference?
Ooh, now you're talking. Let's start with braces.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might not be winning any invisibility contests, but honestly, sometimes that precision, that force they can apply, can mean better treatment, especially in those really complex cases.
Wait, so you're saying even though Invisalign seems to be everywhere these days, it's not always the best choice?
You got it. Think of it like this. You need to move a back tooth, and it's rotated like crazy. That takes some serious controlled force to get it where it needs to be. Braces, they're like that heavy-duty tool, the one you want when you really need power. Invisalign might not be strong enough for that, believe it or not.
So braces are like the industrial strength drill,
Hmm.
and Invisalign is more like a high-end screwdriver. Both have their uses, but gotta pick the right tool.
Now you're getting it. And here's another one that often gets overlooked, especially with Invisalign. Discipline. I mean, those things are removable for a reason. Eat, drink, brush, take them out. But that convenience can bite you, so to speak.
Because let's be real, remembering to put anything back in day after day, that takes effort.
100%. And for Invisalign to really work its magic, we're talking like 20 to 22 hours a day. That's a lot. If you're not the best at, remembering stuff, or if you're just not great with routines, it can definitely impact your results.
Like that gym membership, right? Best intentions, and then life happens.
Exactly. And speaking of life happening, there's this whole other side to think about that most people don't. The mental and social stuff. We always hear about teens feeling awkward with braces, which makes sense. It's a big change. But Invisalign can have its own little, mental hurdles.
No, totally. Like there's this hidden mental load with Invisalign that you don't expect.
Bingo. Some people, they start to fixate on it. Got to take them out to eat or drink, and suddenly you're self-conscious about it in public. Worried about how you sound when you talk. Did you remember them after your coffee break?
So it's like with braces, yeah, you might feel awkward because they're visible, but Invisalign's this whole mental game that no one warns you about.
And that's exactly why your personality, your lifestyle, it all matters. It's not just about your teeth, it's about the whole experience. Do you need something discreet above all else? Are you the type who sticks to a routine? Or do you forget to take your vitamins half the time? These are important questions.
Right. Like, are you comfortable pausing a conversation to pop out your aligners before you take a sip of water? Do you even want to think about that every time?
See, now you're thinking like a pro. It's about finding the option that fits your life so you feel good about it, both during and after the process.
Okay, so we've busted that cost myth wide open, dug into all the hidden pros and cons. Feels like we're really getting down to it now. But if both options have their own quirks, their advantages,
Yeah.
how do you know which one is really right for you?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And honestly, there's no easy answer, no one-size-fits-all. It always comes back to those individual needs, how complicated your case is, what your life's like, even your personality plays a role. It's surprisingly personal, this whole thing.
So it's not as simple as Invisaligns for image-conscious adults, even though that's what we see everywhere.
Right, and it's easy to think that way, especially with how popular Invisalign's become. But it's not magic, right? There are absolutely times when those good old-fashioned braces, they're still the best way to go.
Okay, I'm all ears. Give me an example. When would you be like, nope, got to go with the braces?
Yeah. Let's say you've got a really severe overbite. Like your top teeth are way out in front. Braces. Much better at fixing that kind of bite issue, which matters for more than just your smile. How you chew. Even your jaw health down the line. Invisalign can work, but for those intense cases, braces are usually the winner. They can apply that precise, consistent pressure you need to really shift things into place.
So it's like you wouldn't use a pair of scissors to try and chop down a tree.
Right.
Sometimes you need the bigger tool for the job.
Exactly. And in orthodontics, sometimes those bigger tools are what's needed. Braces have been around forever, they work, and they've only gotten better over time.
It's so easy to get caught up in what's trendy. Like Invisalign seems so high-tech. But it's not always the be-all, end-all, huh?
Nope. And this is where I have to stress, that consultation with a qualified orthodontist, absolutely crucial. Can't skip that step.
This isn't something you want to DIY, no matter how many articles you read.
100%. A good orthodontist, they're not just looking at your teeth, they're listening to you. Your concerns, what your life's like, even your personality, all that stuff we talked about. They're helping you weigh the pros and cons, guiding you towards what truly makes sense for your situation.
Like a personal trainer, but for your teeth. Creating that custom plan just for you, based on where you're starting from and where you want to be.
Now that's a great analogy. And here's something else to think about. What if the best approach isn't even one or the other? What if it's combining treatments throughout your journey?
Hold up, now you're really making me think. You can do that?
Absolutely. Maybe you start with traditional braces, tackle a really tricky rotation or something. Then, once that's under control, switch over to clear aligners for those final adjustments, that finishing touch. It's about what works, plain and simple.
This is why I love these deep dives, honestly. You uncover these little aha moments I never would have thought of.
That's the power of knowledge, right? Understanding your options, what to watch out for, all those little details. That's how you make good decisions, have those informed conversations with your orthodontist, and end up with the smile you've always wanted.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, what are the big takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
Number 1, ditch the assumptions. Braces aren't always cheaper. Invisalign isn't magic. It's all about looking deeper. Number 2, this journey. It's personal. Your needs matter, your life matters. Find an orthodontist who gets that.
I love that. Do your research, ditch those assumptions, and find an orthodontist who's on your team. And hey, maybe the best solution is a mix of both worlds. A little old school, a little new school, whatever gets you there.
Yeah, you're talking.
And to all our listeners, we want to hear from you. Braces, Invisalign, some other teeth straightening adventure. Share your stories in the comments. Let's geek out about smiles together.